Basically, this is when I stopped a bank robbery, stopped a bank fraud, was a crime buster. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Sierra of Dear Sierra, and as I told you in another recent video, I was going to tell you guys the story about what happened. I worked at the bank. There were some other like little funny stories, but honestly I don't really remember them because it's been so long. I haven't been there since December 2017, but this story in particular I think everyone will enjoy. I'm gonna enjoy like recounting it and retelling it because I haven't retold it since it like freshly happened. Basically, this is when I stopped a bank robbery, stopped a bank fraud, was a crime buster, whatever. So let's get into this story. As I was telling you guys in my like previous video about like the job that I worked at after I graduated from college, which was the bank teller position. I don't really remember when in my process this actually happened. I started there in June 2017 and I worked there until December 2017. So I don't really truly remember like how far in my process I was when this happened, but I know I was well out of my training period. I've been working at the teller station by myself, so I wasn't like up under anyone directly, and I think I'd already like passed my, so basically like when you're a teller and you're out of like your training period, you have like a maximum amount of money you're allowed to keep in your top drawer as far as like maximum money to keep in your top drawer. And then you have like a bottom drawer where you can throw like other cash that you need to like unwrap as a day, like say like I have X amount of money in my top drawer, and then like as the day goes on, I'm handing out cash from like withdrawals and stuff, and then like I can grab some more money from the bottom drawer and pull it up. Or if I need to go into the safe, I can go into the safe. So I was still in this threshold where like if someone asked to withdraw a certain amount of money, I would need to have someone else come over to my teller station and approve it, just for like security purposes. And it didn't happen very well. I would say it probably happened at least a few times a week. And again, I was part-time, so not like maybe every single, well, yeah, probably every single shift. Maybe twice per shift, there would be one. There's two teller stations in the drive-thru. There's me and there's one other teller that I don't even think she was there that, yeah, she definitely wasn't there that day because she would have got a kick out of this. She wasn't there that day. It was like close to like closing time. It was like evening. I think it was still summertime-ish because it was like getting dark kind of late, but you could see that the sun had like gone down. Oh no, because we closed at 6, so the sun wouldn't have gone down. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. Anyway, my other drive-thru teller was not there, or she had already left for the day or whatever. And so there's me, the only person in the drive-thru, and then occasionally one of like the people that work on the desk side of the bank, like someone that's like, they have their own desk in the lobby and they do like other banking stuff that's not teller related. Occasionally, like if we got like a really big busy rush or they weren't doing anything or it was close to closing time and we wanted to like help out, they would come and leave their desk and they would come over and they would just jump on an empty teller station and they would help out with like busy rush time requests and stuff, especially like in the drive-thru because there's like so many more people so on the lobby side there's like 4 or 5 teller stations, and then on our side there's only 2 teller stations at the drive-thru. So they would help me out a lot in the drive-thru when we would get like a busy rush or something if they had time or whatever. So this is how the station is set up. So like we're all in a box together. So like even though I'm saying lobby side and teller side, we're all in the same room together. We're literally like in this square. We're in this square, and then like this is the lobby, and then there's tellers facing the lobby with their backs facing me, and then I'm over here with my back facing them, facing the drive-thru. But we can all freely walk around in this little box together to each other's stations and chit chat, whatever. And then the safe is inside the teller rooms. There's like a separate room that you walk into that has the safe and stuff like that. So that's how it was set up. That's slightly important. As you guys probably know, just like from being someone that goes to the bank from time to time, when you make a withdrawal, especially if you go inside, not through the drive-thru, you have to provide your ID to make a withdrawal from your account. To me as a worker, it was like really annoying because it was like, when you're actually going to the bank, you only experience bank stuff when you're going to the bank. So if I'm a regular person with a regular job and and I go to the bank once every 3 months to do something, then I'm not like, okay, this isn't like so repetitive to me. But when I'm a bank teller and I'm working at the bank every single day, day in and day out, taking license after license after license, I'm like, okay, like whatever, I have to check your license. So you do that. And they, again, this place was like a little bit even more strict with their policies as far as like all these little hoops you had to jump through before you like even provide people with their information, their account information or withdrawal, stuff like that. So before I'm even prompted on the screen to check someone's balance of their account, I've got to verify this and this and this and this and this. And I understand this for security purposes, but I don't believe all banks have like so many hoops to jump through, because if you see how quickly they process your information, it's just like, okay, there's no way they're doing all that stuff that quickly. But anyways, and honestly, the longer I was working there, the more quickly I could check things like this, just from like being more experienced and stuff like that. Anyway, so this woman comes up in the drive-thru, and I remember she was like in like a SUV type vehicle. It wasn't quite as large as an Escalade, but it was like a larger, more boxier shaped SUV. It wasn't like a curved like Santa Fe or something. It was something like more like boxy and big, like an Escalade, but not as big. Maybe like a baby Expedition or an Explorer or something. So she pulls up in the drive-thru. So there's 3 drive-thru lanes, and then there's an ATM lane. So there's, again, let me show you. So like there's the teller window. So I'm here behind the glass inside the building at the teller window facing out. There's a drive-thru lane right here where they pull up straight to the glass where you're like face to face with them. And then there's a second lane where they're in between. And then there's a third lane where they can drive up. So there's 3 lanes that we're responsible for. And then on the very outside, there's an ATM where like we don't really have any communication with them. So, and we have like a little tube, like where you put the stuff in there, you have the little tubes and they shoot up. We have those. She pulls up into the second lane. And it's funny because in retrospect, there wasn't anyone in the first lane when she came up to the second lane. So she could have pulled up into the first lane, but she, I'm assuming, purposely got in the middle lane so that she was farther away and we couldn't really like see each other as well. Because there isn't like, we didn't have cameras or anything. It was just like, if you need to check someone's, like they send their license plate through the tube and then you look at them, you may say like, oh, Mr. James, can you just scoot forward just a little bit? And then whatever, like that. You would just ask them like verify like something on their account and then that's fine. But anyway, I say all this to say that I believe that she purposely pulled into the middle lane so that I wouldn't have like such a close proximity to her face. So she pulls up, I'm thinking nothing of it. And I'm gonna tell you this information in retrospect and tell you like what the clues were now, but I'm letting you know like in the moment I wasn't picking up on all of these cues all at the same time. She's in the middle lane. She sends up her debit card and she sends up her driver's license. She doesn't say anything. So they have microphones and we have microphones. Again, there's no camera, so I can't like see her close up or be like whatever. I'm strictly looking through the window and looking through lane 1 to lane 2 to see her and then communicate through the microphone. That's it. So she sends up the debit card and she sends up her driver's license. There's no withdrawal slip or anything. She doesn't like, usually like you'll say like, you'll like greet them. I don't remember what we used to say, but like, I would greet them and say like, hi, I'll be right with you or whatever. She doesn't respond. She's like doing whatever she can to have as little like verbal communication with me as possible. And she's not looking at me. She's looking straight ahead. She has on a wig. She has on sunglasses. Again, I'm thinking nothing of it. Like people wear wigs or whatever, but she has on sunglasses. She's looking straight ahead. And she's not communicating with me. So I'm asking her like, oh, what do you want to do? And then she's like, oh, I want to withdraw X. I don't remember how much money it was. I really don't remember how much money it was. And it's crazy because the money that she requested was under my limit. So it wasn't like, she didn't request like $5,000 or something. So like if she would have requested above a certain amount, then I would have needed to, no matter what, get someone else to come over to my station and help me with the withdrawal, which probably would have helped me with a second pair of eyes to like maybe catch this, maybe not catch this, you know? They may have just gone off my word or whatever. But because it was under my limit, I had no obligation to consult anyone else. I could have just got the money for her and have her go on her merry way. I'm looking at the driver's license. I'm typing everything in. I'm like, oh, how much money do you want? Whatever. With a withdrawal slip, if she didn't already fill one out, like if she didn't already have, like some people keep withdrawal slips like in their car with them because they know they make withdrawals a lot, whatever. If she didn't previously fill out a withdrawal slip and like send it up in the tube when she requested the money, I can fill out the withdrawal slip for her and say, she said that she wanted blah, blah, blah amount of money, put in the account number for her, and then send it back to her and ask her just to sign off on what I filled in to confirm that's the amount of shit she wanted. So she didn't fill out a withdrawal slip. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna fill out the withdrawal slip for her. I'm gonna send it back and have her sign it, which is the way that you compare the signatures. So I had her do that. And mind you, I have the driver's license with me. I have the driver's license with me, and I don't send that back with her. So I fill out the withdrawal slip with the account number she says she wants it from and the amount she says that she wants. And I send it back to her and say, okay, here's the withdrawal slip. Could you just sign and confirm? She gets it back. At that point, I'm already kind of skeptical because I'm looking at the photo on the driver's license. Obviously, driver's license pictures aren't like in color, but you can see like hair color. It tells you hair color, but also when you see a black and white photo, you can tell someone has black hair or blonde hair, even if it is a black and white photo. So the photo on the driver's license is very clearly a skinny white woman with dirty blonde hair. She's probably like someone's mom or something. Probably like in her late 30s or something like that. This woman in the car is not a white woman, period, and is not blonde, which people change their hair color all the time. And again, she was wearing a wig. I don't know very many white people in Northern Virginia that are wearing wigs, especially cheap wigs, but whatever. When I say she wasn't white, it wasn't like she was like a totally different complexion from her, but she had a natural tan pigment to her. And I was just looking at her and I was like, that's not her. And at this time, someone else is already, so one of the bankers that's a non-teller, we'll call her Belinda, and she was a like loan person or whatever. She worked on the desk side, so she was not a teller by any means, but she could do like basic teller tasks, and like she was quick with it and she knew what she was doing and stuff like that. She would already happen to be in our teller box because she was just like talking to someone, consulting them about something, whatever. So she happened to be there already. And I'm like, everyone else is busy with actual customers. I'm like, she's not really doing anything. So of all people, let me grab her. And I was like, don't freak. So I leave this, while I send the withdrawal slip up, I leave her and I leave my station, which isn't abnormal because not only she's waiting on me, I'm waiting for her to finish the slip, so whatever. Okay, so the teller box is like this. I'm here at the drive-thru facing outwards to the drive-thru, and there's teller stations over here facing the lobby, but then the teller box continues around a corner. There's more teller stations over here. Basically, this wall extends farther than this drive-thru wall extends, so I leave the wall where you can't see me through the window and talk to Belinda over here. Like, this woman in this car is withdrawing money, and this is not the woman on the driver's license. I was like, but don't like make a scene about it. And she's like, she is cool as a cucumber under pressure. She goes into like save on mode, and she's like, okay, show me the account on your computer screen, and I'm gonna call the woman that's account this is. So she comes over to my computer screen. Nothing's happening, whatever. The woman has just then, as soon as we walk around the corner, she has just then sent the tube back up. So we're not in a rush. She's not on to us. She doesn't know that we're stalling or anything. I collect the withdrawal tube. I pull up the phone number on file for the woman whose account this really is. Belinda writes down the phone number, goes around the corner where the woman can't see her, and calls her and says, hey, are you in the drive-thru right now making a withdrawal? Woman, thank God she answered her phone, by the way. And she's like, the woman's like, no, I'm not. Like, actually, like, and then I guess, I don't know how they got her driver's license, but like, she told her whatever the reason was. I don't know, like, her card hadn't been reported stolen yet. I think probably she didn't realize that it was gone, but like, she was like, oh no, I'm at home or wherever the fuck I am. So she's like, all right, we're handling, like, I don't know. She got off the phone. She was like, that's all we need to know. We'll contact you later. She goes back around with me, and then Belinda gets on my speaker to the drive-thru. At this point, there is someone in lane 1 and someone else is helping them. Someone from the lobby side that came over to help them because I was like, I can't help anyone else right now. We're dealing with a freaking crime busters case right now. So Belinda comes over on my speaker to lane 2. She calls for the woman's name. She's like, Miss, I don't know what, Miss Simmons or whatever. And she's like, how did you want, because she's trying to get her to talk to her. She's trying to get her to look at her so she can confirm. And then also, because she signed the withdrawal slip, we're comparing the signature on the withdrawal slip to the driver's license. Because remember I told you I purposely kept the well, you have to keep the driver's license till the end of the transaction anyway. That's just policy. But I was like, let me make sure I keep the driver's license so that she can't copy the signature on the driver's license. So like, we got the withdrawal slip back. We're looking at the signatures that do not match. We're looking at the photo that's not hers. So then Belinda is like, Miss Simmons, how did you want that? How did you want your cash for that? And she like turns, she's like, kind of like this on the like driver window. She turns and she's like, blah, 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 or whatever. But like, she like is looking, Belinda's like, okay, I need to see her. She's like, that's not her. So then the woman's kind of like, which that's not an odd question to ask, but like now time is kind of to like, all right, she's been in the drive-thru for almost 5 minutes, which is a long time for a simple withdrawal, whatever. Belinda's like, someone needs to go out into the parking lot and casually walk like you're going to go check an issue at the ATM, walk behind her car and get the driver's license number. Which I would not even thought that part. I did my part, okay? I'm taught to remember faces. My dad taught me to remember people's faces. I remember faces, okay? So I did my part. I was like, I recognize the face, I recognize the signature. I did my part in Crime Busters. But Belinda, which legally was the right thing to do, at some point someone had called the cops at that point, so they were already on their way, I believe. And she's like, we just need to stall her as long as we can. So she tells one of the other tellers, go walk. So our building is like this, the drive-thru is like this, ATM's over here, and our parking lot is here. So she tells someone to walk around the building and act like you're going to go check an issue with the ATM. And when you walk around, you'll be tailing her and you'll get her license plate. So someone gets her license plate off of a car. We very soon found out that the license, they had basically taken a car that had a license plate on already, and then they had taken a separate license plate and slapped a license plate on top of the actual license plate on the car. Which once the cops came and they got like photo, because we have cameras, but like I don't think we can access I don't know, whatever. So like once the cops came and like printed off the photo image of the car in the drive-thru, they were like, you can tell that this license plate is slapped on top of another license plate. While the person is outside doing that, she's still not really onto us, but you can tell she's getting impatient. And at one point she, I think she buzzed and she said like, what's taking so long? But she like buzzed and was like, I don't know, but she did inquire one time. And I was like, yeah, I just need approval because I need whatever. Did I say that? Maybe I didn't say that. But then Belinda came back after she asked her how did she want her cash, and she sent someone to go out there, and someone called the cops. Belinda was still kind of like, all right, let's just stall her until the cops get here. So like we're all like kind of like, I'm like this is like not like being immature, but I'm like in my mind I'm like, oh, this is juicy, like let me just get everything I can get out of this kind of thing, while also being professional and having a poker face, you know. But Melinda's like, okay, like they're out there checking the license plate, this person's calling the cops, whatever. So she's like stalling around the corner. And I'm just there pretending like I'm doing something. And then I can't remember what happened next, but Belinda came back and asked her one more question to like act like something else was just like, we're almost done. Yeah, Miss Simmons, we're getting that together for you. And just to be clear, this is coming from blah, blah, blah account, right? I don't know what she asked her. And the woman was like, yeah, the woman answered and she was like, yeah. But then very shortly after, she just took off from the parking lot. She like, I guess she realized this is taking me too long. This is kind of long. Like we probably were able to hold her there for like 12 minutes, you know, definitely less than 15 minutes, but we were able to hold her there more than 10 minutes, I would say. I could be remembering that wrong because again, this was 2017. But after she came back and asked her a second question, she answered the question and seemed like she was fine and like whatever. But then 2 minutes after that, she just like took off. The cops came, they got information from me, I got information from Belinda. they were like, yeah, like that license plate was slapped on top of another license plate. And when you look at the debit card, it actually looked like they had used the debit card to like jimmy something, because the debit card was like kind of bent. It was crazy. The thing is that that was happening. The cops had said that that had been happening, that there was at least like 2 other like bank incidents where they were like stolen cars, or like disguised cars, where it's like the car isn't really the car that you think it is, kind of thing. So they were like, okay, we know it's a 4-door black whatever, but like that license plate is not going to pull up that car, kind of thing. I was like, dang, like my little investigator skills stay sharpened, stay sharpened. So that was the story. We actually ended up getting, a certificate, and it was literally called like a crime. The reason I was saying crime buster is because like the certificate that I got was literally like a crime buster certificate. Like Sierra, I got one, and Belinda got one from the actual company that I worked for, like this little certificate, whatever. But that was a story. I thought it was it was like the most interesting thing that happened the entire time that I worked there. We had one other incident that was similar, but not that obvious and not that like overt and like extreme, but that was so lit. That was the time that I stopped a bank. It wasn't a bank robbery, but like I stopped like this woman's account from being robbed. She was very grateful, whatever. I don't think I ever met her in person, the woman that's card it was, or account that it was, but it was just like very like, I was like, okay, like that was the most fun that I had on the job, for real, because everything else was like very bland and mundane. So again, that is the story. I hope you guys found some entertaining in the story. I actually enjoyed retelling this story because it's just like, it was lit. And I know that's silly to say like, oh, like something that was like a detriment to someone was lit, but like honestly, like if you guys watched my previous story about this job position, I didn't really love it at any point. So this was the most invested I ever was working there. So that's why it stuck out to me. And in the little amount of time that I worked there, the fact that I was able to do something like that, I will forever brag about that. So yeah, that is the story, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.